Marshall skips away. Marshall skips away. Marshall's still going. Marshall's got Richards coming up outside. Now inside.
Arsenal have gone through an entire league campaign without losing.
Bennett and the Dragons win the grand final.
Whips that one away, and Kane Williamson and his team now World Test Champions.
Welcome back to another episode of the TGIF podcast. Thank God it's footy. Apologies in advance if you hear any barking, crying, whinging from.
We'll be getting interrupted.
From a dog. He's out causing havoc. Speak of the devil.
He's coming in now. We're going to get a bit of camera action there, a little bit of a wobble. You're in there down by my drink there, Ace. That's not for you, buddy. So yeah, apologies in advance, but you know, it's just nice to have a third body around the show. To be fair, you know, it's been enjoyable having him sitting alongside us, and now he's keen to get involved, keen to get in front of the camera. So you're just going to have to embrace it, I think. To be honest, you know, the added barks, the added cries and whimpers, it just you know, adds to the whole spectacle of the show, I think. Plenty of footy on there over the weekend. We're right down to the nitty gritty of the main season there. This what have we got? 4 rounds to go.
4 rounds including this week.
Yeah. So we're right down to the nitty gritty, and got a pretty tasty looking team of the week there as always. Tommy Turbo. He starts us off there, leading the way in the fullback position. Since he's come back, he's each week he seems to just get that little bit better and better, and back to looking like the Tommy Turbo we expect to see.
Yeah, there we go. There's our first bark of the potty. I'm sure the second's not too far off. But yeah, Tommy Turbo at the back. Fletcher Sharp joining him in the back five with Lehigh Hopewati. Now, Fletcher Sharp, front and centre of breaking yours and many other Tigers fans' hearts on Sunday afternoon with a outstanding 4-try performance, and Lehigh Hopewati, another one like Tommy, who's developing week on week, seems to be unearthing another superstar out there at Manly.
Yeah, two wingers there who had pretty awesome games. Fletcher Sharp there scoring that freak of a try off what I think is a fairly slightly dubious call there from the Ponga drop ball there. Herbie Farnworth and Katoni Staggs there. They're your two centres. A throwback to the Brisbane centre pairing there.
Yep. Two outstanding games from the two of them as well. Luke Brooks in the number 6 jersey again. A regular occurrence. Third Manly player so far, so a bit of a theme there. Great performance from Brooksy once again, and Toby Sexton, the first doggy to make an appearance in this team. Possibly a little bit rough on the doggies, seeing how good they were on Saturday night. But Toby Sexton was general out there, really, for the Dogs.
Could be a little bit rough.
Put on 2 really nice tries for Ross and Sherry as well.
Yeah, but Sexton definitely led the way there though for the doggies, and Brooksy sort of stepped up. DCE slightly quieter game there for him, and Brooksy led the way, which is good to see. But yeah, Platt there in the number 9 there this week. Another pretty solid performance there for him. Very versatile player that he is, able to pop up sort of all over the park there.
Yeah, hell of a player. I think we all sort of fell in love with him early doors with the big hits for a smaller bloke. Nothing like seeing it. You think of Victor Radley. Everyone loves a little bloke with a little bit of nuttiness about him. But yeah, hell of a game in the number 9 jumper. Corey Jensen and Leo Thompson slotting in the front row. Big boppers either side of him there. 2 great games for those 2 lads.
Yep, two very probably look different looking props there than what you're expecting to see for the old TGIF team of the week. Probably I'm going to go out there on a limb and say
Surprised to say no double barrel in there.
Yeah,
you know?
not a pairing we've probably ever seen before, I would imagine. But Leo Thompson in particular had himself a really good game there on the weekend. Mikura and Preston, they're your two second rowers. Two other players who had pretty standout performances there. Preston, obviously, since he's been back, playing some awesome footy.
Yeah, Preston was another one who certainly helped break my heart with a couple of line breaks there on Saturday night. It was disappointing to see from a Dragons point of view, but I'm sure everyone else was pretty happy to watch him play. And Williams running out the pack at 13 there. Couple of Sharkies in that back row, 2 out of 3 had to get something in the mix there after their impressive
Well,
win.
Meatloaf, say 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
2 out of 3 ain't
2
bad.
out of 3 ain't bad at all. So
Considering they started, none from 10?
Yeah, exactly. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad when you've gone none from 10. That reminds me of a little round of golf in a way. Not really at all, but a little round of golf that I had myself there on the weekend. We were 10 over through 3. So kind of different numbers here, completely different scenario, but 10 over through 3, and you're thinking, mate, pack it in, head on home, maybe go back to bed. I don't know if you're doing that at that time.
Couple of options, back to bed,
probably go and get yourself
the 19th.
Probably go and get yourself a good little feed and then get a swim in while the tide's in, I'm thinking. But we've gone double, triple, quintuple. Not a type of bogey you're really after. 5 picks on a bogey, you're doing some damage. So you don't really want a quintuple bogey. And then we just went on a run of pars and bogeys only, and a little bird actually chucked in there in the mix. A little nice
little birdie on 9
putt off the edge of the green, but we ended up with a little 5 over through the next 15 holes. It's a little bit similar. I'm a little bit like the Sharks this week, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. We got most of it in there, Take out those 3, 15 out of 18, it ain't bad.
100%, yeah.
Similar looking scenario is what I was going for. Yeah. But that's your team of the week. That's your poor little bit of Waitemata golf coverage as well.
It doesn't matter if you're starting not the best, starting shit, as long as you can finish strong.
Exactly. Timing. We say it all the time. It's all about the timing. So finishing strong was exactly what I did. And ideally, what my Tigers can do come this Saturday night, because it's not something we've been able to do for a long while. Finish a game strongly there. We're up against the Bunnies now. Both of us had a loss there last weekend, but we're in a bit of a rut. 7 on the trot. Where we've conceded 40, I want to say, and I think 4 or 5 of those games there.
If not, 5 probably. I think the only one. Actually, the only 2.
I think possibly 5 of them we've considered 40.
Well, yeah, because Warriors you didn't, and last week you didn't. Yeah, so you're right.
So it's defensively we've been very weak. What's a slight surprise is actually the amount that we have been able to score against some of these teams, but it's the 80-minute performance that's putting in the shift for the whole game, and that's what we're struggling to do at the moment. It's exactly what we need come Saturday night, because we're going to be in the shit of it, in the thick of it. Sorry, in the thick of the shit, really. Because we're 4 points behind Power. We do have the bye in hand still, but we're in the position where we need them to lose another game while we won one. Now, the way that they played up against Penrith there last weekend, I don't think they're in a position where they can say that they deserve the spoon. I think the roster's too good. They're playing better footy than what we are playing. There's no doubt about that. And we do, play them in that final round. That could come down to that. But I think if we were going to play them tomorrow, and it was to come down to that, you may as well give us the spoon already, because I don't think be able to get a win in against Power the way that we've been playing. So 80 minutes and an 80-minute showing would be exactly what I'm after this Saturday. There's no doubt.
Yeah, 80 minutes is what all Tigers fans will be yearning for, really. You've shown flashes. Sometimes it's 5 or 10 minutes. Sometimes it's a little bit longer in games. But it's a good opportunity up against the Souths team that haven't obviously been running the best. Lots of injuries riddling through their ranks. A little bit of a scandal to deal with as well.
Bit of a drama going on there, which is obviously taking up a little bit of the headspace there at the Bunnies, I would imagine. But yeah, the form as well, not really in their favour. It is when they're up against us. They go well when they go well up against the Tigers. I don't think there's many teams really where we've got a positive sort of head-to-head difference there in the last 10 games against anyone, really. Yeah,
the last few years obviously been pretty rough, but I suppose you can't really read too much into the last 10. The South Sides is certainly a different team, but they've certainly got the players to do some damage, and their last win was against the Tigers, so
it's going to be
it's going to be a tough one for the Tigers regardless, but they've got a chance.
Yeah, I mean I don't know if we've got a chance. After seeing the lineup today, Clemmer is still playing. Whanua Pole dropped to the bench. Ruben Porter's been dropped, probably been one of our best players recently. I think we're playing Papali'i at 13. Steph still playing. I would have dropped him. Oh, excuse me. Adam Dewey, probably would have dropped him, playing shit as well. And I'd be playing half of these young players that are going out there and giving it a good crack. I think probably looking at the last 5, 6, 7, 8 games, our best players probably been apart from Api, maybe Whanua. I'd say he's probably looking quite good there out on an edge, but apart from that, there's not really many players that can say that they're putting in a performance worthy of getting them back in there the week after.
Yeah, it's obviously very tough when you've got junior players leading the senior players around and sort of having to drive those standards. But yeah, definitely signs of some shining lights in the future for the Tigers.
It's all about keeping hold of them. That's the big thing.
Might as well, get them out there, get them experience.
I reckon you get rid of half these players on all this big money and throw a bit of money at these young blokes and just build the team around them.
Yeah, the thing is that you half of them are locked up on these ridiculous contracts, and you've got to spend a certain amount of money anyway. Minimum, so see how that.
There'd be 4 or 5 dudes at the Tigers on far too much money.
Yeah,
don't need to be getting paid anywhere near what they're earning.
Yeah, far too many players taking up far too much of that salary cap for the Tigers. So, I guess Richo's only 1 year into his clean out, so interesting to see how it does turn out over the next few years. And I couldn't find too much value in either side in a result, really. So I've just gone for 2 random try scorers, Cam Murray and Jareen Buller. It's paying $7.85.
Yeah, we actually we weren't too heavily outsiders in this one, which is I mean maybe not a surprise when you think about how Bunnies have been playing. I've gone with my usual Tigers 1 to 12 there, and I've chucked Sam Weather in there to get himself a try out there on the edge. Just over $13.08. That one is paying there. I'll take a win. I'll take a win whatever way it comes.
Absolutely. If you can take a win and
2 points.
Keep that spoon battle interesting. Keep it alive on the final day.
Yeah, that's what we're after at the moment. So
that'd be interesting. Obviously, Parramatta would probably back them backed themselves to get the win, but interesting to see, no Moses. Maybe Dylan Brown picks up a little niggle or ban going into that one, and all bets are off. But yeah, it's going to be a rough one for the Tigers unless they can pick up a win before then. But going into Sunday afternoon, the very next game, my Dragons will be hoping to bounce back off the disappointing loss up against the Gold Coast Titans. And is it a good time to take on a team off the back of copping a 44-0 loss? You'd probably have to say so on paper. You'd like to think Flano's got the boys ready and primed for that final push towards finals, but Des has probably got the exact same argument that he'll be pushing towards his boys,
Yeah.
If things go right for the Titans, there's still a mathematical chance.
I'm not a big fan of the old math. I think when you're having to put a sports game down to math, I think that's when you're in the shitter. When you're having to bring out the old, it's still mathematically possible. Sorry. I think that's when you can say all hope is gone. 44-0 thumping there. I said that was possibly a game there that the Titans could pull off. Sharkies hadn't looked overly that flash. They were a team I thought if they were to continue to lose could maybe be the team that falls out of the 8. So either I've got very, very poor footy knowledge, which is possibly can't be true, being a Tigers fan, or the Titans are done and dusted for the season, in my opinion. I think when you held to a clean sheet in a game of footy, it's not good.
Yeah, it's not pretty at home. 44-0 to Nico Hines-less Cronulla Sharks side. Although they were very impressive on the day, and yeah, it's a random one because obviously Gold Coast have been very impressive over the last 10 or 12 weeks up until that one. I guess in all reality, it's probably their final hopes done and dusted there. But the Dragons probably a little bit more to play for, just slipping out of the 8 on points difference after that Golden Point victory for the Dolphins there last week. So I guess story of the Dragons season really. 1 week we were really, really good, picking up a win down in Melbourne, shit like that, beating the likes of Penrith in a good second half comeback over that Origin period, and then another week we're getting absolutely smoked, dropping the ball plenty of times, conceding heaps of tries. But the biggest story really to come out of the aftermath of that game, Kyle Flanagan.
What's your verdict?
Seemed to have a chomp on his nose.
It's a chomp.
I can
see. Chuck your nose in there where it doesn't belong. That's what happens, mate.
Yeah, you chuck your nose in there where it doesn't belong. That is kind of a little bit on you, but maybe not. You probably
there's no doubt there's a little cut there.
That's probably something that applies to crocs, alligators.
I think
dogs,
all sorts.
cats.
It shouldn't with humans, but it needs to. You don't want to be
on a footy field.
You don't go put your nose where noses don't go. Noses definitely don't belong in mouths.
To be fair, even as a Dragons fan, don't really like it. I think you probably, unless you're literally fearing that he's gonna choke you out or some shit, block your mouth and nose off. I think you just have to cop it and wait for the ref to do something about it rather than having a chomp, having a nibble, whatever you may call it. But we'll see what comes out of that one. I don't know if there's been any news, but
I haven't seen anything.
Probably expect them to cop some sort of ban for that, whether it's a couple of weeks or a little bit longer. But yeah, we'll be hoping that we can bounce back this week at home against Gold Coast team that looked pretty shocking last week. Hopefully that's them checked out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think most likely it is. Yeah, I don't. As I said,
Dragons a little bit more to play for.
yeah, it's still on for the Dragons. It's not just mathematics with the Dragons. For the Titans, it is. And I think that's game set match. When it gets to that stage, you've got to be looking towards next year, I think. So that's also maybe a dangerous time to come up against a team where it's kind of like, well, this is kind of it now. Like, let's just go out there and play some footy and look towards next year. And they go out there and put in that performance that they've been looking for all season. So I do have to say I'm probably leaning towards your Dragons. I got to say they've got probably the slight upper hand going into this one.
Yeah, I have to say it's. If we can't win this one, it's going to be tough from here on out. It's certainly the friendliest of our last 4 games to go, but hopefully we can bounce back. As always, 13 plus for me. Paying a measly $2.70 this week. Off the back of, I guess, that heavy loss for the Titans.
Yeah, that's definitely had something to say in that equation there. Because of that, I've just gone for a couple of try scores, a couple of L's, Little and Leilua, a couple of Tigers at that. If they both get themselves a try there on Sunday, it's going to get me $20.51.
Not too bad at all.
It's not too bad at all, you're right. We're underway with a little bit of Premier League action this weekend. Footy is well back underway. We've had the Champions League, League 1, League 2 there start over the weekend. We've seen Rooney's Plymouth Argyle get dicked 4-0. We've seen a little bit of Coppa Italia action. Rafael Varane getting injured 30 minutes into his debut for Como.
I saw that, yeah.
We've had Harry Kane win a trophy at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Did you see that?
A pre-season
trophy, and he refused to lift the trophy. He took the armband off, went over to Kimmich and said, "I'm not doing it." Gave him the armband, which, fair play. You've got to, even as a Goonie, you've got to give him a bit of respect. It would have been great to see.
He didn't want to be a meme.
But he didn't. He couldn't do it to the fans. It would be hideous. So. But the best and probably the biggest tournament that there is in world football, the Emirates Cup, was won there over the weekend. Morning, actually. No, yesterday morning, sorry.
Won over Leon.
Up against Leon, 2-0. A couple of lovely little headed goals there from corners. Particularly Gabriel's there, a lovely little run into the box and a little glancing header. Past the keeper. We didn't get to see Lacazette involved there for Leon, obviously post-Olympic duties there. But a trophy's a trophy, a good way to start the season and warm us up before we get into a little bit of action against Wolves there. Sunday, 2 a.m. kickoff, 2:30, 2 a.m.
2 a.m. I believe.
One of the two. I think it's going to have to be a sort of watching the league / the darts. Into maybe like a slight nap and then a wake up and a coffee, or it's a try and power through depending on what the
depends on Saturday night.
Depends on what the 11:30 game is in terms of Premier League action. But I had a little look at the fixtures, and it's this game and then the next home game against Brighton are the 2 games to sort of take advantage of early on with slightly reasonable kickoff timings there.
Okay, yeah, I like it. Well, at home to Wolves, you'd like to hope we can start off nice and strong. Fingers crossed we can see everyone fit and ready to go. Don't know how our old new mate is.
I don't think we'll see Kelly before he's starting. He came on there against Leon. I think we probably see the exact same lineup that we started with there. Raya, Zinchenko, Saliba and Gabriel, Ben White, Partey, Odegaard and Rice. Did Rice play actually? I think, he did play, I believe.
Saka, Martinelli, and
Saka, Martinelli, and I think it was it Jesus or was it Havertz? It'll be one of those two there. Jesus looking quite good though, I thought in pre-season there. So, but it'll be a pretty strong team. Wolves obviously have just lost Neto there to Chelsea as well. Wouldn't have had the time to go out there and invest that moolah just yet. So, it'll be good to get 3 points on the board before we head to Villa Park the following week. A slightly trickier fixture there. So yeah, I mean, I'm picking a 2-goal win, 2-0, 3-1.
Yeah, I'd be happy with any sort of win.
Clean sheet would be nice.
Clean sheet would definitely be nice. At least 2 or 3 goals. Particularly if we're not going to keep that clean sheet, but yeah, glad to see the Premier League's back. Really, it's that sweet spot of the year where you've got the Premier League and the NRL sort of.
Yeah, it is. It's that ideal
and full swing.
It's that ideal part of the year. But as one giant arises, one other giant falls. We have seen the end of the Olympics there over the last couple of days, and what turned out to be equal best all-time ever medal haul, a record for golds, and yeah, possibly our best ever Olympics. We're calling it.
You'd have to say we've been arguing the whole time that the Americans were stupid for counting overall over golds during the early days when they weren't in the lead for both, but yeah, new record for golds. You'd have to say that's our best ever Olympics.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean,
maybe not vibes wise, considering most of the action happened while most of us
definitely not vibes
head
wise
to the pillow. But
I mean, I would have liked maybe a little bit more. 10 or 9.
Or was it 11?
I think we
came 11th.
I was going to say 9 golds.
9 golds.
Either way, 10, 19
I think it might have been 10.
9, 10 or 11. You reckon 10?
I think so.
Medal table 2024. I'm calling it's 10 in 11th place. Good call. 7 silvers, 3 bronze. Yeah, it's a pretty tasty.
It's a healthy.
Could have been better.
It's a healthy per capita effort, as always.
The old men sevens probably should have got themselves on the old podium. That would have been another one in there to chuck into the mix. I thought we might have got a couple in the pool. What's his name? The old swimmer, Clarebert. No luck. But a very, very good haul there, nonetheless. So,
shout out Lydia Ko completing the trilogy.
Yeah, shout out Lydia Ko. It's very cool to see a gold.
Hanging up the clubs and hanging up the Olympic rings, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's how you look at it. Maybe it's the 5. It's a 5-wheeled trundler. Maybe that you're hanging up there to symbolise the Olympic rings there. But I guess now we look on to the Paralympics. I don't know exactly when that is. But
I think it gets started fairly soon.
It's coming up pretty shortly, and we'll be obviously cheering on the whole squad. But I think as many are aware, the main threat there for Kiwis to go out there and get themselves a medal, Sophie Pascoe there in the pool. I'm sure she'll be looking to get herself a couple of golds there while she's I'm going to say away in Paris. I'm going to assume it's possibly also in Paris.
I think so.
I think that's usually how they roll. You're talking about vibes-wise in terms of timing and things like that. The old darts back on at a reasonable time last week and this week. As you said, Hamilton there this week, Wollongong there last week. It was great. Friday night, about 9 o'clock, tuned into the darts, was able to sit there. I watched the first 6 games, watched the 6 Aussie representatives up against the PDC fellas. I think all games were 6-1 and 6-2. There was a little bit of a mixture. I fell asleep waiting for the 7th game, which was the first Kiwi appearance. We lost 6-0. And then obviously already asleep for Hope Aipura coming up agonisingly short to Rob Cross, losing 6-5, missing a dart at double 12 for the 1-4-4 to win the match. So very, very good signs there for this weekend down in Hamilton for Hopes. Plus the fact that the PDC Stars weren't really firing on all cylinders like we expect them to. Peter Wright making the semis, Gerwin Price trouncing Luke Littler in the final there. Humphreys and Smith not really playing how we expect, so they kick off their Friday. Now I'm going to assume in the last couple of hours or this evening or something, we've seen a draw. Or is it starting? Oh, it's only Tuesday, maybe it's not till tomorrow. Peerless, Price, Reign Supreme and Wollongong. It looks like possibly not till tomorrow. I kind of had in my head that it was Wednesday. But yeah, Friday, Saturday night, obviously the Friday there is when you're going to get to see all your Kiwis out there. Hopefully, like we did last year, we'll get to see a couple of them involved Saturday. Caden Milne, obviously. Been Peter Wright there. Was it Peter Wright that Caden bet, or was that Johnny Tata, I believe, that bet Peter Wright? Either way, we've seen a couple of Kiwi representatives make it through. So yeah, plenty of sport on, plenty of things to get involved with at the moment, which is bloody good. As you said, it's kind of that golden hour of the year in terms of sports. NRL footy. Premier League is back. We've got darts at a reasonable time of the day.
We've just had our best ever Olympics.
It's starting to get that little bit lighter in the mornings. And fingers crossed, the
water's getting warmer?
The water will be getting warmer soon. That's what I was about to say. The water will be getting warmer soon. We're slowly easing our way towards spring. What are we? That's at the 13th there. It does. We're nearly halfway through the month.
Half a month away.
Half a month away, 2 weeks away from some spring action, and before you know it, we're trick or treating, and then we're ho-ho-hoing, and it's 2025. So blink and you'll miss it, I guess. Probably us for this week, a slightly shorter version there. Try and get that Barky fella home and to bed. As always, if you've made it through, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for getting involved. Remember to give us a like, a 5-star. Get involved in all your social medias. Enjoy your week ahead. Enjoy whatever sport you're getting involved with. If you're having a punt, do it responsibly, and hopefully we'll see you here next week.
Yep, sounds like a plan. We'll see you then.
Ciao.
Marshall skips away. Marshall's still going. Marshall's got Richards coming up outside. Now inside.
Arsenal have gone through an entire league campaign without losing.
Bennett and the Dragons win the grand final.
Whips that one away, and Kane Williamson and his team now World Test champions.